Hi everybody, my name is Todd Creager, and what I do is I help couples and individuals have the lives they want, have the relationships they long for, the connection they long for, and that's what I'll be talking to you a little bit about today. If you want to know more about me, just go to my website at www.toddcreager.com. That's TODDCREAGER.com. And there's articles, and there's videos, there's information on my services and my products. And you can contact me through the website, or you can always call me at 714-848-2288. What inspired me to get into this profession is that when I was younger, I actually had an incident that happened that caused some anxiety. And I was one of these guys that had my act together, thought everything was perfect, was a pretty high achiever. But when I started having these anxiety symptoms, it seemed to come out of nowhere. And when I started to get into therapy myself, a lot of people that are therapists start out in therapy, okay? But when I went to therapy, I was absolutely fascinated by how much I didn't know about myself, how constrained and how limited I was as a human being. And then the more I learned about myself, the more I liked myself, the more I didn't have to be perfect, the more I was, I achieved, but I was much more than that. And I just got so much out of it. So that became a kind of a passion of mine to do spiritual readings and psychological readings and learn about it. And that is what got me started. And then I went to grad school, got my master's in social work, and went on from there, got my licenses. And it just seemed like I had this gift, even as a young therapist, to help couples and individuals. And it's been a passion of mine. I've been doing this over 30 years, and I'm still excited about it. So my work experience really starts out at USC. I got my undergraduate degree in biology, but then I made my little shift and got into the field of mental health, and I ended up getting a master's degree in social work, also at USC. And then years later, I went through the UCLA School of Medicine to get certified in human sexuality through the School of Medicine there. And what else? I've also been trained as an EMDR specialist, which stands for Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprocessing. This I did more recently over the last 5 years, where this kind of treatment helps people who have been through some kind of trauma. And why I did it was because as a person who specializes with people that have sexual issues, sometimes people had lowered desire because of molest issues that happened, and I was discouraged. I wasn't finding a way to really help them. So with this EMDR treatment, I could oftentimes quickly help people process old traumas, get past it, and reclaim their sexuality. And now I use it for other things as well, but that was quite a lot of training. And now I do trainings. I do trainings in couples therapy. I train therapists how to do couples therapy. I train couples how to do sex therapy. And I train couples how to help, I train therapists how to help couples heal from infidelity. So I do a lot of trainings now myself. So you learn and you teach. And I even teach at USC as a professor. So I'm always learning to teach and teaching to learn. Well, I started as a licensed therapist, licensed marriage and family therapist in 1984, and then I got my license in clinical social work as well in 1985. So you could say I really started my practice in my own business in 1984. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but it has. There's a lot of services I offer. Of course, I do couples therapy. That's what I'm mostly known for. I help couples thrive. I help couples rekindle passion when they've lost their way. I help couples heal from crises such as infidelity. I have a very high success rate, actually. People are surprised when they hear that, but I'm very successful helping couples heal from infidelity. I work with individuals, too, to help them heal from trauma or to help them find a relationship that's better or to get out of a toxic relationship. I do webinars. Sometimes they're free informational webinars. I have a relationship mastery program. That's my baby now that I'm very excited about. It's actually called Relationship Mastery, Have the Connection You Long For. And it's an online program that you could watch and listen and participate live at least part of the time, sometimes all the time. And you get me, and I help you, and I group coach you to help you develop relationship mastery, to become master communicators, to remove the blocks you have to love, and to be able to bring the best out of others, and to even be better lovers. So I do that online program, and I have products also that are informational. I have my books, The Long Hot Marriage, Love, Sex, and Karaoke, 52 Ways to Ignite Your Lover. Your love life, I should say. Well, you'll love her too, but your love life. And I have some other informational products too. I do couples retreats. I have people fly in or drive in and spend some time in a local hotel, usually, or sometimes even in this office I'm in right now, and work with them more intensively. So there's a lot of things I do to help individuals and couples thrive in this lifetime. I chose my current business location because it's really right in the center of Orange County, but close to the coast. So it's right off the freeway, the 405 freeway, so people have access from South County up through Long Beach. So that's really convenient. I like the duck pond and the fountains right here. And, it's just really convenient. And so I really like that. Now that I do a lot more virtual therapy and virtual coaching and counseling, it's not quite as critical for some people that live not geographically too close. I have people not only in other parts of the state, but other parts of the world. But still, for people that come in and want to see me live, and I do that probably still more than anything else, it is just geographically very convenient. So I use a number of marketing strategies to get myself known. It's changed through the years. I still do some of the basic knowing people around. Doctors refer to me, therapists refer to me, allied health professionals like chiropractors refer to me. So that's one way. But with the internet and the marketing and social media, I use all of the social media pretty much. I have a business manager, tech person that does a lot of it for me. So I could do my craft, but I definitely still supply the text and the words. And mostly though, I write articles and I do those videos, and Google likes me now, and it seems like I get a lot of people. I would say I get more than half the people that come see me are from the internet and not word of mouth, which is totally different than it was in the past. And YouTube as well has attracted people. They've seen what I say and how I say it, and it's brought me some business as well. Technology has had a big impact on how I conduct my business. First of all, my ability to treat people that are not geographically close to me, it's been wonderful, that I could help people. I've helped people in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia more recently, and in Germany, in Asia, and all over the United States. So that's one way it's impacted my business. And then, the other way it impacted my business is how I market myself. Like I said, I depend more and more on the internet. And so a lot of my marketing strategies are about creating text and words and articles and videos so that people could see me. And that's something that I never did 20 years ago. That wasn't even part of my marketing strategy. So even though I do speaking and all that for my strategy, the internet has become probably the biggest marketing vehicle I have now. There are definitely ethical concerns in my business, probably more than most businesses, because what we do is of such an intimate nature. So one is really more legal, but it's both legal and ethical, is confidentiality. It's very, very important to safeguard the confidentiality of the people I see, whether it's in person or virtually, that they need to feel safe to share and be open. So that's probably number one, confidentiality. In terms of other things that I would say are ethical concerns, is people are calling me or seeing me, they're in a vulnerable position. Oftentimes they're in a state of crisis, and I need to have integrity, and I do. I run on integrity. So if for some reason a person calls me and I go, well, I'm not the best person for this person, the ethical thing to do is to refer them to somebody else. Of course, it's also ethical if it's something that I feel highly qualified for, to really strongly suggest that they do come in, because I'm thinking of what's best for them. Now, for example, with the internet, I could do most things virtually, but when I do something like my trauma treatment, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, when people need that specific treatment, that you do live. So if I'm seeing someone virtually and then we come up with something that I think they need that treatment, I refer them to a local therapist. So it's constantly about integrity and doing what's right for these people that are very vulnerable and who are depending on me for some very intimate details of their life. For me, overcoming these ethical concerns is quite easy because it's really, I can't be greedy. I have to think of the other people and not me. But the truth of the matter is, when I conduct my life thinking of others before me, even if it means I have to give up business, let's say, for one thing or another, in the end, it's good for my wallet too. You know, when you're doing things with integrity, it comes back to you. So it's really not that hard for me to overcome that. When it comes to confidentiality, I guess because I've done it for so long, I'm really, really good with that. I tell people what's confidential right up front, and I also tell them where I have to report it as a mandated reporter, such as if there's child abuse or sex abuse or something like that. So it's done very clearly right up front, and so I have all the motivation in the world to act with integrity and with professionalism, because it helps them and ultimately it helps me. So let me tell you what I think sets me apart from other businesses and professionals that do things similar to what I do. First of all, when it comes to couples, I've been immersed in this field. I have been trained, I have training. When it comes to sexual issues, when it comes to healing from infidelity, I'm very well trained, and I've worked with thousands and thousands of couples. And so when you work with that many of couples and individuals, you get the nuances of what it takes. I find myself very, very good at motivating people to do things that maybe they didn't want to do. I mean, if they wanted to do it, it was so easy, they wouldn't need me. So my job, and what I'm very good at, is helping people overcome resistance to doing the things that they need to do. And I help them develop emotional muscle. Just like going to the gym and developing physical muscle, I help people develop the emotional muscle so that they can truly listen. So that when your partner says to you, "I'm really angry at you," you don't get defensive, which is the natural reaction, but not helpful. But instead, you actually move a little closer and say, "Really, honey? Tell me more about that." You probably didn't see your parents do that. But what I do is I help people be mavericks, pioneers, and create pathways. We don't have to have the mediocre relationships that our parents had. I've been, as a person who wrote a book called The Long Hot Marriage, my brother asked me when I wrote it, "Did you write a fairy tale?" But it's not a fairy tale. It's really, I see this with my couples. I've seen this in my own marriage of 33 years now, that you can have a long, hot marriage, but you need to do things differently, and you need to develop that emotional muscle. And once you do that, many, many things are possible in relationships. So I think that passion I have to help couples, my know-how, my ability to motivate people, my ability to help couples not just talk, but experience how it feels like to have that muscle, that emotional muscle, and how much it benefits them. I think that's really what sets me apart. And then one more thing I'd add too is I'm very much into helping people in the shortest period of time possible. We don't mess around. I get to the core issues, what's really going on, like pulling the weeds from the very bottom. We don't just cut the top layer and put a little Band-Aid on your wound. We really get to it and heal it, and try to do it, like I say, as quickly as possible. So I think that is what differentiates me from a lot of people that do things similar to what I do. It seems like I always seem to have a mentor of one form or another, because I'm always open to learning. I'm open to learning things about how to do my business better. And of course, I'm open to learning how to do my craft better, my craft of therapy, counseling, helping people grow and change for the better. So I have mentors that will help me develop a better marketing plan. I've had marketing mentors. I've had mentors that help me deal with people in trauma. And I currently have a mentor right now that's helping me in the realm of business strategy and opening up to how to help more and more people. I also mentor others. I've been mentoring others for a long time. I mean, set aside the clients that you could say I mentor. I'm talking about people in my field, new people or people that are stuck, and I help them discover what they really want to do, their specialties. I help people with marketing in my field because a lot of therapists don't know anything about marketing, and yet in order to help people, we got to let people know we're around. So I mentor people in that, and I mentor people in how to self-care in this business. We're helping other people. How do we take care of ourselves so that we feel good after seeing half a dozen clients in a day or more and go home to our homes and still have energy to live our lives? And so I mentor people in that as well. I would say that I'm successful because, number one, I'm always open to learning. I think that's number one. Like I've been saying before, I'm open to learning new ways to market my business, but also new ways to treat people and help people. So I'm very open to learning. Try to stay humble. I've been doing this a long time, and I sometimes, as good as I know I am, I know there's a lot more to learn. And I'm a professor at USC, and wow, when I started teaching there back in 2011, I couldn't believe how much it helped me as a therapist to understand the neurobiology that I teach. And so I had to learn it to teach it, and theory. And of course, I teach human sexuality as well. But I learned so much as I was teaching it. So that's one thing, openness to learning. I would say persistence, too. I'm persistent. I don't quit. I know that not everything I do is going to work for my business, so I just pick myself up and do it again. What else? I think that I handle failure pretty well, and I don't even look at it as failure. And I also dream. I dream big. I do dream big. I don't see myself. I think that I'd be really miserable if I was doing just what I did 10 years ago. So I'm constantly looking to expand how I do things clinically and how I do things and how I outreach to other people. So I'm constantly trying to be innovative. So what I would tell people in terms of pursuing their dream, pursuing their business, is that you are far more capable oftentimes than you realize. We have such amazing potential. And we learn certain things from our family, from our friends, even from our colleagues that sometimes limit us. And it's not true. It's not real. It's like the story I've told people about when you have a baby elephant and you want to train them, and you hook the baby elephant to a pole so that they won't move. And that baby elephant keeps trying to move. Most of us have that urge to grow, right? And this baby elephant wants to move. But after a while learns it can't. Then you cut the chain and the baby elephant could move but doesn't, even as they grow into an adult elephant. Anyway, that's the story I was told. So it's like that with us. And so we want to challenge how we limit ourselves and ask ourselves, how do I limit myself? And then follow that up with, what do I want? What's the career or life or business I would love? What would I love? And think about what I would love, and then visualize what you would love, and then imagine having it. And allow yourself to feel grateful as if it's already happened. There's a quote that I read once, begin with the end in mind. And I always say, begin with that end in mind. You've achieved your dream. How does that feel? What's going on? What does it look like? And immerse yourself in that feeling state. And then from that feeling state, then you say to yourself, okay, what action steps do I need to take? Bold action steps do I need to take to move towards my goal? So really, there's an emotional aspect of this that I've learned through many of my mentors, not just the action. There's the emotional aspect and the action. You want to believe it and then act towards the belief that you are cultivating in yourself. And then you'll be capable of having what you want, having the relationship you want, the marriage you want, the career you want. So whatever aspect of your life you're talking about, the health you want, Just imagine it, feel it, and then take the steps, and you can have it. I just want to tell you that I offer people help in a myriad of ways. The thing that I'm excited about currently is my Relationship Mastery, Have the Connection You Long For online program. And what you can do is go to my website, toddcreager.com, that's TODDCREAGER.com, /relationship mastery. And it'll give you more information, and you could find out about it. You could enroll in it. If you just want to be on my email list, do that. And all you need to do, again, is go to my website, toddcreager.com, and you'll see a sign up for my newsletter. And there you'll get all kinds of articles. Once a week, I try to send articles or a video. You'll also get announcements of free webinars, such as the one on my Relationship Mastery program. I also have a program for people to help them heal from infidelity that's in my store, so you can look at it on my website. I have a program called Overcoming Your Dysfunctional Family, Breaking Through to Your True Self. Very powerful program that I did once and was recorded. It was really good. I think it'll benefit you. So there's a myriad of ways through my website that you can allow me in your lives. And of course, if you want me to work one-on-one, one-on-two, a little more intensively, then email me, call me at 714-848-2288. My email is todd@toddcreager.com, and we can have a conversation about how I can help you more intensively. So you have all those ways for me to help you, and that's my passion, to help you.